In 1876, landline telephones launched in New Zealand, and they connected us in a way like never before. Revolutionary at the time, the old plug-in phone has almost become a relic of a bygone era. And now, in what's perhaps the final nail in the coffin for the old dog and bone, Spark has announced that they're doing away with their technology for good. I'm a little bit sad about it, quite frankly. Joining me this morning is tech guru Paul Spain. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Hilary.
Just explain to us how the old technology works. I mean, we're one of the few people that still have a landline. So how does that work?
So, in simple terms, and some people may remember having seen these pictures of things being plugged in old telephone exchanges. You basically have a copper wire that connects from your call when you pick up the handset to the person at the other end, and that has to be a continuous connection.
So what are they doing?
So, well, we're moving away finally from that type of technology to where everything will be connected effectively over the internet or over the internet protocol. So anything that can connect, it could be a smartphone, could be any piece of technology, will be able to take your calls. And we're pretty used to that now, right? I mean, most of our calls are on mobile rather than on a physically connected line.
Okay, so you will still be able to use your landline. So the phone that I've got plugged in at the wall at home is still going to work. I won't really notice it. It'll just be on a different technology. Yeah,
well, for Spark, they've got in the direction of 500 exchanges around the country where there's all this technology that brings together and connects those calls. So they will be able to get rid of, I think, something like 1,300 tonnes worth of equipment, which is now getting really dated. It's something like 30 years old, and it's very horrendous to maintain. It's not manufactured anymore. So they're moving in the current times, and what I guess a lot of the smaller telcos have been using this technology as their only platform for a long time.
No offence, Spark, but your internet's a bit dodgy sometimes. Is it going to be a problem?
That aspect should not be a problem because they'll be carrying the call the whole way through within their private network, so it will be delivered probably better than it ever has been before. So there shouldn't be any issues from that perspective, but there can be issues with older equipment that really is designed just to work over that copper. So we need to wait and see for a little bit more info, but I imagine things like old fax machines, monitored alarms, those sorts of things is going to be more of a problem in the future.
Oh dear, I've got to chuck out the fax machine finally, do I? No, I'm joking. I don't still have a fax machine. Rural customers will be concerned because their landline is effectively a lifeline for many of them.
Well, they'll still be able to keep their landline, so that's not too much of a problem. And of course, you know, the government's been working very hard to deliver rural broadband, and by the time this is in place, we'll have much more ubiquitous internet right around the country, from fibre optic reaching 85% of the population, plus better connectivity via wireless.
So, how long is it going to take to roll out this new technology?
They're telling us 5 years, so it's actually a pretty big project to go through and rip out all those exchanges and get things working smoothly, and their commitment is to deliver that in basically a pretty seamless way. So customers shouldn't notice really any issues. So we'll see how that goes.
Do you think customers will notice any issues?
I hope not.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's for so many years we have been attached to these copper wires and these landlines. Sorry, I just want to go back to that other point that you made about some older phones possibly not working.
Well, more things that are trying to use that old network in a way that it wasn't designed for, so pushing data over those lines. Anyone still using dial-up at home? Probably not.
Okay.
Well, there'll be one or two where it's used for a very specific purpose, but generally those things are going to be pretty seamless. And of course, most of us have mobiles now, right? So
yeah, but you know what? There will be people out there who still do have pretty old technology, and they don't like change. They don't like change. Okay, well that's the message, isn't it? The time is up. Go get yourself a new phone so you can make it work. Paul Spain, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Hilary.